Welcome to The Explainer. Today we're going to talk about the myth of modern productivity. You know, that whole idea that you have to hustle 24/7 to get ahead? Well, we're going to break down why that's not just failing you, it's actually holding you back from doing the work that really matters.
Yeah, let's just start right there. It's a pretty bold claim from our source material, and it's basically the foundation for everything we're about to talk about. The idea that you have to wake up at 5 a.m., grind for 16 hours straight, and optimize every single second of your day just to be successful, it's a lie, a complete fabrication.
And this is the question at the very heart of it all. You've got to ask yourself this, because we've all been conditioned to think they're the same thing. You know, a packed calendar, notifications buzzing constantly, back-to-back meetings, that's become the modern symbol for being important. But it's time we really ask, is all that frantic motion actually leading to any real meaningful progress?
Okay, so first up, let's really dig into the lie itself. We've got to put a name to the beast we're all fighting here. And what it is this cultural belief that has somehow convinced us that being exhausted is a badge of honor. That if you're not completely burnt out, you're just not trying hard enough.
This is the system we're all caught up in. You can almost think of it as a cult, the cult of the grind. And it creates this constant low-level anxiety that if you have an empty spot in your calendar, you must be falling behind. The pressure isn't to achieve things, it's to just be seen doing things.
So what's the real price we pay for being always on? I'm telling you, it's not just about feeling a little tired. The cost is so much deeper, and it's actively sabotaging the quality of our work, and frankly, our lives. Which brings us to this idea of decision fatigue. Okay, think about it like this. Your brain has a finite amount of good decision-making energy every day. It's like a battery. And every little email you answer, every meeting you sit through, every tiny choice you make, it just drains that battery, bit by bit. So by the time you get to the really important decisions, your mental battery is dead. You're running on fumes. And this number right here, this is a biological reality check for all of us. Research from experts like Cal Newport shows that even the most focused people on the planet, we're talking people whose jobs depend on deep concentration, they can only really produce about 4 to 5 hours of high-quality, deep work a day. Anything beyond that, it's usually just, well, busy work.
Then let's be real for a second, right? How much of the typical 8-hour workday really falls into that column on the right? You know, answering emails just to keep your Slack status green, or sitting in meetings that definitely could have been an email. It's just exhausting theater, designed to make us look dedicated without actually creating any real value.
So if the whole system is broken, what's the fix? Well, as we move into our next section, you'll see the answer isn't some new app or another productivity hack. It's about understanding two powerful, kind of timeless laws that honestly change everything. This one is so simple, but it is so incredibly profound. You know how this goes. If you give yourself a whole week to write a report, guess what? It's going to take you a week. But if you give yourself just one day, you'll find a way to get it done in a day. Having tons of time just invites procrastination and overthinking. But scarcity of time forces you to be clear and focused.
And this is the perfect partner to Parkinson's law. It basically says that the vast majority of your daily activities, all those emails, the busy work, the unimportant meetings, they contribute very, very little to your most important outcomes. Your biggest wins, your biggest breakthroughs, they come from just a tiny fraction of your efforts.
I mean, just look at this. The difference is staggering when you see it laid out. Success isn't about the volume of your work. It's about identifying that vital 20% and then fiercely protecting your energy to get that stuff done and get it done well. Everything else is pretty much just noise.
So all of this brings us to the solution. Our source material calls it strategic laziness. Now hold on, before you dismiss it, you have to understand this is not about doing nothing, not at all. It's about the art of doing less, but better.
And, you know, this isn't some trendy new idea. The Stoic Emperor Marcus Aurelius was writing about this almost 2,000 years ago. He understood that real effectiveness and, peace of mind, it comes from subtraction, from ruthlessly cutting away everything that isn't essential.
In a similar way, you have the Taoist concept of Wu Wei. It suggests that our greatest work doesn't come from grinding it out and forcing it. No, it comes when we create the right conditions, the space, the clarity, the rest, for our best work to just emerge naturally. It's like being a boat flowing with the current instead of trying to row against it. And that right there is the crucial point. Strategic laziness is an active, disciplined practice. It actually takes a lot of courage to say no to things. It takes courage to have white space in your calendar when everyone else is bragging about being slammed. It's about having the wisdom to focus your limited energy only on the things that will truly move the needle.
Okay, so this all sounds great in theory, but how do we actually put it into practice? Our final section is all about that. A new toolkit with some really practical steps to help you finally escape the productivity trap.
So, look, this isn't about managing your time better. It's about managing your energy and your attention better. The subtraction audit, that shows you exactly where you're wasting your effort. The one thing rule, make sure you make real progress every single day. Building space in your schedule gives your brain the room it needs for those big breakthroughs. And that hell yes or no filter, that protects you from all those mediocre commitments that just drain your soul.
And let's just end with this final thought. We're all constantly searching for the next hack, the next tool, the next system that's going to make us more productive. But maybe what we really need isn't another thing to do. Maybe what we really need is permission to just stop, to be still, to rest, because it's usually in that quiet space that our best ideas, our best work, and our best selves are just waiting for us.